Salve a tutti, sono Almarok e benvenuti in un nuovo video. Oggi siamo qui per fare un'intervista a Memnock degli Abyssic. Prima di iniziare lo ringrazio per la sua grande disponibilità, per aver accettato di essere il nostro ospite, vi lascio l'intervista e vi auguro buona visione. I'm Almarok, I'm here with Memnock from Abyssic. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir. How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm good.
Okay. Why you started to do music and why you started to do with black metal and your best influences?
I started doing music because I already as a kid I was into theater. So I started doing music at a very young age. First time I got a paid job, I was only 14 years old, playing with my local band. And also, I love performing. So being on stage is something, very good. I love being on stage. So I guess that's why I just kept on doing my music, Also, your next question was influences.
Mm-hmm.
I am influenced by all kinds of music that is kind of slow. Like when I was young, I used to listen to all the sad songs, like the ballads, because I had a father that was he was at sea, so he came home with old records like with Johnny Cash and stuff like that. And also I started getting into, the sad kind of music that Johnny Cash also made. And eventually I started listening to Judas Priest, and, that was back in 1986. And then later on, I ended up listening to all kinds of metal. But I also started listening to some black metal in the 90s. I got involved in the black metal scene, kind of. Got to know a lot of the black metal people, the community. And I always was intrigued by the theatrical aspect of it, because they had, the flames, the light, the makeup, the blood, the upside down crosses, everything. So I just found it very exciting and intriguing. So that's why I like black metal, because it kind of got the extreme expression that I like within music.
How was born the idea to unite the black metal sound of Abyssic with the classical music elements and instruments?
Since I've been listening to, bands like Emperor and Dimmu Borgir and stuff like that, I always, and even before that, I always wanted to combine doom black with classical music. I remember back in the 80s, I was thinking, why don't more bands like, Metallica have classical music and stuff? Because I always liked that, the beauty and also the dramatic of classical music. So I just figured, let's try. And I hired a guy who was very much into classical music, and he started composing some classical music for Abyssic, and I think it turned out great. So I guess that's one of the reasons, and also it gives the extra, what I mean, like the extra spice in the music, because doom metal is beautiful in itself, but it tend to be not boring, but maybe more like, repetitive, because it's so often there's some very long songs. So I think that when we started putting classical music into it, it broke it up and made it more interesting.
About the lyrics, how concern your life philosophy with the lyrics of Abyssic? You talked about Luciferianism or about believing yourself in the lyrics. Can you explain this concept?
Absolutely. In Abyssic, like the last album we did now, we have a song called, for instance, Cold as a Winter Storm, which is basically about being the captain on your own ship, which means that you have to be the leader of your own life. If you're in a bad storm in life and choose to sail your ship on and wreck it because it's like you give up, whatever, that's a pretty dumb choice. And I respect that people do that, but what you should do, be the captain on your own ship. Don't depend on people telling you how to survive. You need to steer your ship towards, for instance, the light tower, because if you do, you will certainly be safe. So the philosophy in my music is, like I said, you should do what is good for you. You shouldn't hurt other people, of course, but still you shouldn't always do things to others because you want to be nice. You also need to do things because you want to. Like, this is something I want to do, then I'll do it. But a lot of people tend to, like, okay, I have to be nice, so I have to do this and this and this. And eventually maybe they hate doing it, but they do it to be nice. And I think that is not being nice. That is just destroying yourself. So do things because you want to. Don't let people use you, and never, ever, ever listen to the voice that tells you, just don't give a fuck, just steer your ship, whatever. No, listen to the voice that tells you, we will do the right thing. We will guide ourselves the right way. And there will be haters that will try to drag you down and tell you, no, this is not good enough. Well, fuck them. Just do what you think is right for yourself.
What about the future projects of the band? Have a new album in program, concerts?
We have a new album in progress. We just got a new synth player because the other one, for different reasons, had to leave. We had to let him go. And the new synth player, he's kind of genius because he's influenced by some dark, depressive synth pop, which is, I never even knew it was a genre, but it's like synth pop on steroids, which is so depressive and so dark. It's like, what the hell? So when he makes riffs to Abyssic, we go like, wow, I never thought of that way of doing it. So it will be, I think the new album will be very interesting, to be honest. I'm very much looking forward to presenting it to everyone when it's done, because it's going to be both dark but also different. Yeah.
How is it difficult to become a musician nowadays, and how many things have changed in black metal scene where you started from nowadays? If you have an advice for who want to become a musician nowadays?
Don't.
Don't start up a new band.
I'm joking, sorry. If you want to play black metal, you have to be aware of the fact that black metal has become like Eurovision Song Contests. I mean, everybody wants to do black metal and everybody gets a gig and everybody. So you have to basically stand in a line, because before you get to play your gig, there will have been probably 100 other bands in the same genre playing a gig on that very venue. So everybody wants to do black metal. And because of that, it's incredibly hard to start a new band. It's not impossible, but it's hard. So you have to stick out from the crowd. And what I can say is, you need to have that. This sounds like a cliche, but you need to have that X factor. What makes you special? You know, because you like got thousands of black metal bands. So what makes you special? And also, what has changed is the fact that, like my band Abyssic, we are still underground. We're like the 90s still, you know. But the black metal now, they're not underground. They're like pop music. Everybody listens to it. Like we talked about previously, even your grandmother is listening to it, you know. But when you and I grew up, it was like, oh, he listens to black metal, he's probably devil worshipper and evil. He will, you know, eat my kids and kill my cats and whatever. But today it's like, oh, he listens to black metal, how cute. You know, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
So that's the main difference.
Damn. Thank you for your time. Thank you for accepting this, and good luck for your projects.
You're so welcome. Thank you for the interview, man.
Thank you.